what people do care about, and it's actually funny because we were asked this question last week, and it's turned out to be kind of true. Sounds like there might be something in the works for the CHL to have players be eligible to go play NCAA hockey. I'll turn it over to you, Z. What do you make of this?
I honestly have zero idea because I don't understand that much about how it works other than pretty much like they can go do juniors and then come on over to college. I mean, half the guys in college, I mean, well, not necessarily with like the notable drafted prospects or like half the fucking hockey dudes that I went to college with, they're like, 21-year-old freshman. How are you? I was like, Jesus Christ, that's insane.
Same. No, most of my Division III school was like 21-year-old freshman. And it's like, all right, cool.
So it's like pretty funny to think like that's now going to be the same thing with like big D1 schools where it's just like, holy fuck. Man, Hastings is going to love it.
I think it's a little overblown, but yes, Hastings is going to salivate over this shit. But like, reality is the legit players are going to be in the NHL. It's not that big of a concern. I think, though, two things that it does open up. One, kind of a negative. You see some of these guys, like think about a Macklin Celebrini, right? Think about all the guys from Michigan. Now that the eligibility is still open, like why wouldn't they start in the CHL? And hey, if it so happens that they make the pivot, they can change after 1 or 2 seasons and go if they're not going to be that like blue chip talent. But I think the flip side of it that could be really awesome for NCAA hockey, there's a lot of club programs that are like nipping at the heels, trying to make that jump. Now that you're seeing the success with a lot of the teams that have just joined, we got Augustana, we got obviously Arizona State. Why am I spacing on the Missouri school? Doesn't matter. If you have that much more of a talent pool to draw from, now that you got these aged out Canadian guys coming down, you can get an Oregon. You can get like all those West Coast schools. You can get the ones that maybe are traditional like powerhouse schools for football and basketball and just haven't been able to get anything behind them for hockey. It's just way easier if you have more bodies that are truly able to compete at that level and might get a little bit more physical too. Can you imagine like playing with a half shield, playing with like fighting, being totally encouraged unless you're in the queue? Cause and then having to go back to playing with a cage.
Just immediately extremely angry, hitting like it's funny too, just because like
irrationally angry.
Irrationally angry. Yeah, those college kids, I mean, they love because they can't
Lucas got
like
Linden.
There it is. They love throwing some of the most insane hits I've ever seen in college. It's like, it's clean. It's like, well, you only got his fucking face with your elbow, but like, I mean, sure, I guess. Jesus Christ. A little extra physicality, be even more nuts. I'm curious, like how many players that actually end up starting major junior, ending up in college. Like I wonder if it would really move the needle a whole lot. I mean, like the WHL started their scholarship program too, which is just something. I don't know. I'm very curious to see like how much it actually would change. Like you said, that would be cool to have those other programs have more appeal and like going, like official or whatever. So it's interesting. I don't know what the timeline is either.
I don't either. Yeah. And it might still be just speculative. It might not even truly, be moving, but even though they're Canadians, so like, why care? I still think it's cool for some of those players that like they're playing in the CHL because they want to try and play pro hockey. If they get to the end and either just haven't hit that development peak yet, or just realize, yep, I'm not going pro, but then they still have a chance to go play serious hockey, get a good education, like, cool. Because again, we already said it. we're not getting first round picks. They're going to come and play college hockey. Like, that's just not going to be the case unless they were already going to play college hockey instead of playing the CHL. So
right.
I think it is interesting. What if, let's make it real fun though. Set limits for each school and roster on like how many kids they can have, but it's specific by league. So you can have one player from the Q, one from the OHL, and one from the WHL. So you're getting the full mix.
God damn it.
I mean, think about it. If you got 3 WHL kids on your team, people are going to get hurt.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh, God. All right. Nothing else on that?
I don't think, I mean, I do think, I kind of just feel like the most likely, or like the players more likely to do that are just the ones go play major, junior, and then want to keep playing hockey, like he said.
Yeah.
There's not a path there, but you can go to college. I feel like it'd be those players we'd see more often than anything, or more than anyone else.
We're going to have an Arizona State team that's just purely Canadian.
Oh my God.
Like 21-year-olds aged out, going down to just party their faces off at ASU. That needs to be a reality show.
That would be the school would be like, God damn it. Like, we have enough issues. Like, this is insane. Get these fucking guys out of here. I do want to see like what it would do. I haven't really read a whole lot about it anyways, but like with this, like you said before, like the scholarship thing, I'm very curious about, because that definitely changes things probably for like the kids that were always doing college hockey, like potentially negatively, where there's just like now there's this other pool of players that just like kind of wants to come play college hockey now, and if they're eligible, that's crazy to me.
But the reality is, it's probably going to hurt the guys that are like bottom 6 anyways. Like, your true talented players aren't going to get displaced as much, because again, it's not to say that there's no skill in these players that are going to come, because there absolutely is, but they're probably going to be a little bit more of a two-way grind type of mentality if it's the guy that just isn't making it or trying to make any kind of push to play pro in Europe or here. And maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to know who some of like the best players are from the CHL in the last decade that didn't end up playing any pro hockey, but like could have easily stepped in and just torched college hockey.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Whatever.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, again, I don't know what the timeline looks like, how like soon they would even be able to do that or whatever. I have no idea. So we'll see. I'm sure there'll be more developments with some more clarity on like the actual parameters of it. Oh, good Lord. But, yeah. Liquor sales at ASU. I don't know.
Do you know what the liquor sales are like at ASU? I don't know that there's a whole lot of room for growth, but
yeah, I was going to say, I think probably a little stable. It's just
like a little bit of a
continue. Yeah. Just going to continue on the path they're already on. Like 6 more guys is gonna like, it's not going to be this massive spike.
Crown Royal sales through the roof.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, good Lord.
Oh,
Crown
God.
Apple. Mm-hmm.
Dude, you mix the Crown Apple with that Crown caramel, and it's like those caramel apple suckers when you're a kid.
That's what I've heard.
Delicious.
Haven't done it myself.
One day, perhaps. One day.
Yeah, maybe.